Om Sairam, Om Shri Radha Krishna Maitai ki ji. Welcome back to all the viewers those who are watching our channel. Today we are going to read Prema Ratna Shri Radha Krishna Ayee, Chapter 7, Part 1. Ayee's Prema Bhakti. Among the close devotees of Baba, like Shama, Dikshit as Daskanu, the foremost gem which was shed of luster, Prema was Ayee. Yet strangely enough, she is nowhere to be among the pictures of Baba's devotees. Through written sources containing details of Ayee's life work are very few. The book Shiradi Sai Baba opens up a new world for us. The author, a doctor who was also a Janani, Bhakta and Yogi, shows Ayee in totally new dimension. We all know that the main aim of Sai Avatara was to wipe the tears of the people by showering grace and prema. Baba often proclaimed to his devotees, "Your prema is my food. I am hungrily waiting for the same. I will be your dasa."
If we perceive Sai Baba as Krishna in Gokula, the friend of Gopa Balas and also the emperor of Dwaraka and empire of Prema, the group of his devotees show up in a novel framework of grandeur. In this crowd shines forth Radha Krishna, the embodiment, the Prema of Radha Krishna, glittering like Rohini in the blue sky. As the beloved of Krishna Chandra, Bhagavan, Sai Baba reveals in her universal love by saying she is my mother as well. In the word of Dr. Keshav, Ayee's life is Radha's Vilasa, dedicated to Krishna. Vilasa means action fully soaked in bhakti.
Narada, while defining bhakti, has this to say: Samsin Parma Prema Rupa. The sage punched to Krishna by saying Samsin. He is here at hand. Even before you utter the word Prema, Krishna comes and stands before us. Come, show extreme, limitless, unconditional love to embodiment of love. This indeed is bhakti. No need for puja or 16 types of upachara. In Prema Bhakti or Parama Prema, all these are kept aside.
What is Atmanivedana? The ultimate in ninefold bhakti. It is to offer love to love, through love and with love. To offer oneself, mind, speech and body totally at his lotus feet is bhakti. To say that this is bhakti itself and not so much as the climax or the final stage of bhakti will please Narada and his Narayana. If you reach this stage, you will get all. In other words, nothing else remains. Only he alone.
Every day we recite the sloka, mostly at the end of the puja. Kaye vanacha mansindriyerva narayanaiti samarpayami. This is nothing but an expression of Atma Nivedana. Our thoughts, words and deed, body, mind and soul are dedicated to Supreme Being called here as Narayana, the all-pervasive Vishnu, the indweller and refuge of all. Baba like the 11th skadana of Bhagavatam, where this sloka appears.
Babu Sahib Bhuti also came to the Wada at the same time with a message from Maharaj. Bring rupees 16 and a half from Dikshit. The meaning of rupees 16 and a half has been explained by Eknath Maharaj like this: Kaya 1, Vacha 1, Manasa 1, Chitta 1, Buddhi 1, Ego 1, organs 10, and Prakriti Swabhava of subconscious nature half. This was why Baba asked Bhuti to bring rupees 16 and a half as Dikshana from Dikshit.
We are able to surrender to Him all actions we perform knowingly. But what we are required to do is to surrender involuntary actions like sleep, heartbeat, digestion and breathing to Him. Ayee also echoes this sentiment and explains that sloka is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Ayee says, if we dedicate the body, indriyas and mind to God, our words, thoughts and deeds will be doings of God. This is what Krishna means when he says, Yatkoreshi Yadasasni Yajoshini Tattva Kurpa Bandarpam. Chapter 9, Sloka 27.
Invariably, I anticipated every command of Baba and explained the philosophical concept in the same way as Baba did. Some devotees called her the Pratirupa of Baba, as she lived for Baba alone and carried out his wishes without being told. But Ayee refuted this and said, Baba alone is God. We are but his reflections. She never felt that she had a special place among Baba's devotees. She had extraordinary abilities with which she used to serve Baba. Vaman felt that I was none other than Devi Tirupura Sundari or Mahamaya. When Mahamaya is united with an avatar and functions on his behalf, she is called the action force of Yoga Maya.
Baba knew the stories of not one but 72 Janmas of his devotees. His calculation of relationship covering many births is clear in the case of Radha Krishna ayee. Some even say that Radha Krishna ayee was Janabai of Pandaripur. There is evidence to show that Janabai was Trikara of Krishna Avatara. An Abhanga written by Jana may be recalled in this context. The scene is the rainy season and the river Chandrabhaga is in a spate. She sings,
On the terrace, Vittala stands, his eyes glued to the path which Jana usually takes. The river is in full flow, touches both the banks, where indeed is Jana. She comes usually around this time. The Lord waits like one who is mad. At last, she comes and washes her clothes in the river. Vittala watches on and calls out, Come up to the terrace quickly. Rukmani is not here now. Let us talk, sing and dance. So goes the Abhanga.
Is God really mad? Quite so. If we call the devotees as lovers of God, he too is their lover. There is no difference between a lover and a madman. We are never tired of describing the various categories of relationship between the Bhakta and the Bhagavan. The closest is Avinabhava Sambadhana, which means inseparable intimacy. Like the two births described in the Mudukana Upanishad, identical and inseparable companions, the Jivtama and Prematama are preached on the same tree. This is the height of the Prema Bhakti, the moment of realization of oneness.
This is what Baba tries to emphasize every day, in each act of his. Unable to live away from us, he descends from the state of Parabrahma, rushes from house to house with a begging bowl in his hand. He receives what we all give, the old and new roti, sabji and sambar, mixing them together and giving to men and dogs in the same way. He eats the leftover, which he says is prema.
In the words of the author of Shirdi Sai Bhagavatam, once I danced before Baba in Dwarakamai. During later years, such an event never took place in front of Baba. But wait, only once it happened. It was Vriksha Masa. Sweet music was heard is in Dwarakamai. Let's see the remaining part of the chapter in our next video. Om Sairam, Om Shri Radha Krishna Maitreyi Ki Jai.